They improved on the packaging.
Oh, they did. That's very nice of them.
It's a nice, simple process.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just start off our discussion by saying this is the season finale for season 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And the season finale of Voyager season 1 is that the ship's systems get infected by Neelix's stinky cheese.
Grilled cheese.
I think that's all I have to say.
You've been through a very traumatic experience. It would frighten me.
It's very, very easy to say that New Trek makes Voyager look like brilliant.
I think I'm going to enjoy this.
I'm gonna say, we were watching season 1, probably for the first time since it aired. I always watched Voyager sporadically. I'd catch episodes here and there. But I remember I sat down, I watched season 1 new as they were coming out. It's better than I remember it being. My notes, it's just, all I have is a list of names of every episode. And next to every one, I put either a frowny face, a neutral face, a smiley face, or a smiley face plus.
Okay. Oh, so it's slightly different than the how did we do cleaning the bathroom thing that you hit at the airport?
Yes, slightly different.
Okay.
I have one frowny face.
I have a bad feeling about this. It's just not going to work out.
I have one frowny face and a question mark.
I was gonna spring that on you, Rich.
Yeah.
Instead of picking my favorite episodes of the 15, I had to switch to my least favorite.
Okay.
Because there would be too many favorites.
Yeah.
So listen, when Star Trek Voyager, you seem to be like not quite into Star Trek like when it came out in certain shows. Deep Space Nine, you're like, it's on WGN.
Deep Space Nine was one I just had trouble catching new.
Okay.
And because it's ongoing, it's like more of a story, I never really got into the story as it was going on.
Okay.
Voyager came out, it was the replacement for next, like TNG ended, and then Voyager's picked up right after that. I was around for that, like the whole, at least the first season. I watched everyone as they were coming out.
Yes, and so did I. I'm like, new Star Trek series on a starship, I'm in. You know, I don't know how, I think I was still in high school. I don't remember, but, and I'm like, let me start watching this. I can't wait. The first episode, there's a spatial anomaly, another spatial thing. Every episode's about spaceship anomaly. They don't ever leave the spaceship, and then I'm like, but I just want to say this. If you think being in your, I don't know, teens, 20s, if you think you're going to be the same person when you're in your 40s, you are dead wrong. Because I loved almost every episode of season 1.
You wish you had more time in your youth to really absorb all the things that happened to you. It goes by so fast.
I guess maybe it's because the taste has been soured so much by New Trek, where it's like it's so warm and nostalgic and comforting to go back to such a simple show. Mm-hmm. Such an effective show that has just really great little stories, and I'm just like happy, joyful watching this, where I'm not being like bombarded with like nonsense constantly, or stupid dialogue, or explosions, or just watching stories, and I'm so happy. So there might be a little, my view might be tainted a little by that, but...
Sounds as though you've heard this story before.
I was just loving this whole first season, with a handful of like, exceptions, but I was really happy.
I have complicated feelings about Voyager, and this might be a flaw of mine as a critic. Okay? Like, I find I don't judge Voyager based on what Voyager is. I tend to judge Voyager based on what I think it should have been. And I know that's wrong, and I can't help doing it. Because the premise for Voyager is f***ing awesome. And I'm going to say you something. I had this idea for a premise of a Star Trek show back in high school, before Voyager came out. So when they announced they were actually doing that, I was really f***ing hyped. The premise of Voyager is you have this starship that gets stranded on the other side of the galaxy. They are 75 years worth of travel away from getting home, and half the crew are like scuzzy freedom fighters.
Terrorists.
Yes, terrorists. and you have this ship that's stranded decades away from home. They don't have any of the resources that they normally get with the Federation. They're out there all on their own, and what are they going to do? How are these two different crews going to play out interacting with each other? What are they going to do when supplies start getting low? What are they going to do when the ship starts breaking down? Who's going to replace these crew members as these die? It asked all of these interesting f***ing questions, and then the show refuses to deal with any of it.
I had the same thought originally, where it was like, I was like, why? First of all, I don't really like the Maquis at all.
No, but the idea of the integrating these two crews and
Sure.
how's that going to work?
Well,
There's
sure.
one or two episodes where they actually kind of deal with it, and then there's a lot of lip service.
Well, see, here's the thing. They took the middle road. You could have had the Voyager chasing a Klingon ship, and they get sucked to the other side of the galaxy by the caretaker array, right?
Yeah.
Then you have 44 Klingons on board.
Sure.
That would be a big ongoing, or Cardassians or whatever. That would be a big ongoing problem. It would be, it would add to the show's production budget of makeup and all that kind of stuff, just on a surface level. Some ex-Federation,
Yeah, but
mostly.
they could be culturally different. Here's my least favorite character in this show is Chakotay. And it's not even because I hate Chakotay. The concept is awesome. He's this leader of this gang of freedom fighters. How is he going to play with Janeway? They should be. I feel like they should be butting heads constantly before eventually. 3 seasons later, they finally find a way to get along with each other. Instead, they take this premise that's awesome, and the second the pilot episode is over, he becomes Janeway's lapdog.
Who is she to be making these decisions for all of us?
She's the captain.
He instantly puts on the Federation uniform, and instead of being an interesting character, he's just the guy on the bridge with a tattoo on his face. And he's got a culture. Chakotay has a culture. That's his character. He's got a tattoo. And he sits there. He does whatever Janeway wants him to. His former Maquis crew, these rebels that he led, whenever they get out of order and Janeway's upset, he puts them in line for Janeway. And I'm sorry, I just spit all over you.
Yeah, you're on one here.
I'm on one here because this is how I feel about Voyager. The episodes themselves, they're very good.
It's a little milquetoast
But
for you.
they're-
You want more conflict.
They're TNG episodes.
Yeah.
They're great TNG episodes, and it completely wastes the premise of the show.
I agree with you on that. But I kind of look things from both a producer's eye and then also the Maquis themselves. Their fight, they're not just crazed terrorists. Their fight is with the Cardassians. They're mostly like colonists who live on worlds that were like annexed by the Cardassian Empire that the Federation was like, okay, move along. And but then they're in this situation where their only hope of getting home is a starship and kind of integrating. Mm-hmm. It kind of falls in the way like realistically it would happen. Like I said, they're not Klingons. They're not basically Federation enemies or combatants or just a completely different, like, uniformed culture. Just a bunch of wacky misfits, basically.
Yeah.
Especially the last episode, the Tuvok's boot camp.
That episode, it infuriates me.
Okay, we'll get to
Yeah.
We'll get to Tuvok's boot camp.
From now on, you will look at me when I am talking to you.
I think Chakotay kind of knows he's got to play along.
It's the fact that he does it so easily.
I suppose.
He
Yeah.
slides right into it.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Would you have liked the show, because you say you kind of came up with a similar idea.
Yeah.
If it was just a straight up Federation starship that got flung to
You know what? Yeah, they may. I mean, if they're not going to use the premise they've established, then why use it? Just make it another regular starship.
Well, see, one episode I really enjoyed was.
Do they even need to be stranded on the other side of the galaxy for these episodes? Most of the good ones.
Do
they need to be?
There is a lot of reoccurring conflicts that come up on procedures.
We can blame it on the phase discrepancy. No.
We're not going to cover this up,
Are you crazy? We don't have to take the blame for this.
but we're going to.
Especially a later episode in the season, Prime Factors. That's the one where they go to the pleasure planet with the French guy.
Yeah.
I have it Prime Factors, aka everyone stabs Janeway in the back. Where we'll talk about this episode, where they have a device or a technology that could transport them. It's a Prime Directive episode, and then you've got
It's like a reverse Prime Directive episode, which is fun.
Yes, exactly. She said we've never encountered this before, where we're the ones on the other side of the Prime Directive. Like, we have this technology, but we can't give it to you because we have,
We have our ideals.
we have our ideals. And Jane was like, well, shit. But B'Elanna Torres and Seska and even Carrie.
It's one of the few times they actually used the premise. Well,
Yeah.
I love this episode.
And it pops up like, why are we doing this? Why don't we cut this? Like, especially the one Void, I think, where they're trapped in that pocket of space and they can't get out, and they have to
Later seasons, yeah.
Yeah, they have to
That's one of my favorite Voyager episodes in general.
I really like that one too, where they have to form an alliance and everyone's stealing each other's technology. And I think it was, I don't remember who, one of the bad guys gives Janeway like an engine component that she needs. And she's like, how did you get this? And he's like, I killed the guy to get it. She's like,
But why waste this technology when we're so close to escaping?
Because it's a violation of everything this alliance stands for.
throw it out the airlock, Harry. But Captain, we need this. No, he got it by killing somebody. I can't use this. So Janeway holds to her morals. She's very much about the Prime Directive, unless it's inconvenient for her, and then she's not. But really, it's a show about what do we do in these situations, and how far do we bend the rules?
Yeah.
Which is the premise of the last episode, like the Equinox episode, the two-parter, which is also one of my favorite episodes, where there's a similar situation, a smaller starship out there called the Equinox, who's been playing things dirty out there. That ship and its crew are in the same situation as Voyager, but the captain was a little less.
He's decided to do something really unethical.
Really unethical, and so I agree with you on the possible different kinds of storylines they could have told.
Yeah.
They slipped way too easily into a Federation crew. But it's like those characters, those Maquis characters, are there for just random conflicts that need to arise, random storylines they need.
I think you easily could have gotten away with just saying it's a Federation crew. And maybe the breakdown is because they're stranded on the other side of the galaxy, and the Federation crew are the ones who occasionally have those moral lapses because they're so desperate to get home. I don't know. I'm bitching, but overall, I enjoyed this watch through. And something I just want to say, I feel like I need to say it. I think I owe Janeway a major apology. I owe her a major apology. I've kind of bitched about Janeway for years. I remember, here she is, the first female captain heading a Star Trek show, and I have memories of them writing her like a hysterical, emotional wreck who would just change her mind on a whim. And I'm watching this, and I'm really wrong about that. Like, these things I thought she did that at the time when I first watched it, I thought, is she crazy? I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, oh no, I understand.
She's crazy.
Is she crazy? The
Got a lot of pressure on her shoulders.
Well, that episode, time and again, I remember that episode starts, we can't save the civilization from blowing themselves up. It's the Prime Directive. And we have to let what's supposed to happen. And then halfway through the episode, I just remember her suddenly, it happens suddenly. She just turns around, she tells them, you're going to blow yourselves up.
All right, here's the truth. We're from the future.
You mean I was right? We weren't allowed to tell. At least I thought we weren't.
But I'm watching it, and she actually has a justification in the episode that I didn't notice before.
I told them the truth when I realized we'd already violated the Prime Directive in the worst possible manner.
How did we do that?
Just by being here. Because if we hadn't been here, it's very possible this world would not have been destroyed.
And even her, like, suddenly, I'm gonna blow up the caretaker's ship. At first, I remember watching that thinking, she's nuts. But I'm like, oh no, like, what is she gonna do? This civilization is under threat. I just want to say, I just really feel like I need to say it because I've been bitching about her for 20 years. I'm sorry, Catherine Janeway. I was wrong about you.
Well,
you're pretty awesome.
Two things. One, she's not watching, and two, she's not real.
I know. She's Kate Mulgrew, who I've never had an issue with Kate Mulgrew.
Of course not. Of course not.
Good, then let's get started. Janeway out.
Well, let's talk about that the caretaker episode.
Yeah.
Double parts, which I have on as one of my least favorites.
It's a neutral face. It's a pilot episode. It's clunky in part just because they have to introduce literally everything. The only thing I'll say is they try to introduce this new villain faction, the Kazons. They're like lame Klingons. They're just lame Klingons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. They're not as technically advanced as Klingons. They don't have water.
No. I guess it's interesting the fact they want Voyager's technology specifically, but as a culture in and of themselves, they are extraordinarily boring.
Yeah, they're just the villain of the week for this particular episode. I know they come back, but
yeah.
Let me just ask you this question, Rich. How do you feel about Chakotay being Native American, or, as they say in the 24th century, an Indian?
Look.
had something going on.
Look, the show was written in the 90s, okay?
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine with that.
Isn't that where the group of North American Indians settled?
Isn't that some kind of Indian custom?
Several Indian tribes rose up to overthrow their Spanish overlords and drove them out of what is now called New Mexico.
The only thing I don't like about Chakotay is after the pilot, that becomes his only character trait. That's the only thing I don't like about Chakotay.
I suppose.
He just walks in, I did the vision dance.
Can I say one thing, though? Season 1 of Star Trek Voyager had the most egregious, shocking moment I have ever seen.
Which one?
With Chakotay.
Which one?
It was in my favorite episode of the show, Emanations, a.k.a. Harry Kim beams into a coffin. Now tell me how you feel about this.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump to this episode real quick because we loved all these episodes. We'll briefly talk about the ones we don't like that much.
Yeah.
Emanations. They're looking for this. They found a new element in space, like floating around in this like Saturn-like planet.
Yeah.
In the rings, they're like, what's this element? I don't know. It could have amazing powers. Let's beam onto this M-class asteroid and check things out because they didn't want to put on spacesuits.
Yeah.
So they walk around and there's a bunch of dead people in what it looked like shrouds, but then it also looks like they've been spun up by giant spiders. I'm like, what? Everyone be careful. And so dead bodies are in this cave, dozens of dead bodies in different states of decomposition. And Chakotay's, this is he starts pulling out the Indian card. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm just using the terms from the 24th century. Well, if they were maybe born on a space colony in Cardassian territory, being called a Native American is kind of weird. So let's just go with Indians. Yeah. Make it simple.
I have the deepest respect for your beliefs.
Couldn't they use their proper tribal name? A Cherokee? I'm a Cherokee.
And how? Listen. So there's dead bodies everywhere. And Harry Kim is with them, and so is B'Elanna Torres, I think. And Harry Kim takes out his tricorder, and Chakotay's like, no, this is a sacred burial ground. I once like picked up a stone and I thought it was like a memento I was going to take, but turned out it was his burial stone. And he's like, my Indian culture says you cannot disturb a grave site. So visual, surveillance only, no tricorders.
Set your tricorders for passive scans. I don't want to disturb anything.
Captain, the sanctity of these bodies should be respected. I recommend we make visual observations only. No tricorders.
And I was like, what, are you nuts? Where does that come into Federation protocols? That's insane. That's insane.
However, Mr. Kim has a different opinion.
With all due respect, Captain, I have to disagree with the commander. This is our first contact with this race, and I think we should be learning all we can about it.
I'm afraid I agree with Commander Chakotay.
Like, you can have your own culture and be an alien, but when you're in Starfleet, you follow all the rules. You don't, like, they could have learned valuable things about the bodies and the frequency resonance of space where they came through the vortex. You remember they came through like a spatial vortex and got dumped on the moon because their planet had all these like spatial
fissures, I forget the spatial fissures they call them or something.
Yeah, and so they thought that once you got sucked into that, you went to the afterlife. It was a really great, like, Prime Directive episode.
It's a great episode. It's not even the best episode Voyager did about dealing with there being no life after death. It's not even.
Neelix was constantly dying and dealing with all sorts of horrific things. And then the mummies start to appear on the ship. Like dead bodies start to support. I don't know. It was just they revive one of the mummies.
Well, she's not quite dead. Their technology is good enough they can revive her. She's not fully dead yet.
But that was the thing, is their culture, like when you're on the brink of death, or they send you the afterlife so that you can move on.
Or even in the one guy's case, he was like wounded from something and he wasn't able to provide for he was a burden on his family.
Yeah.
So he chose to do this.
It's like a euthanasia pod kind of thing, where you're not really, it's not like a coffin, but they just...
And then they're going to beam you into the happy afterlife.
Right.
Which turns out is just a asteroid full of corpses.
Yeah, yes. And then the Voyager's engines or something start pulling the beaming, I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they start depositing mummies on the ship. And so this poor lady who died during the process, I think. So they revive her.
They beam you into an asteroid, and what do you do? I mean,
you're dead. But so they revive her, and and she's like, "Where's my family? Where is this the after? Oh no!" And then I don't know. Janeway had a plan to like send her back through one of the currents, but then she just instantly dies in the transporter.
Yeah.
Oh well. Whoops. But what a strange.
And interesting though.
Interesting, yeah, because they have to kind of like dance around the Prime Directive and like kind of tell this culture that.
Well, I don't know that this isn't your afterlife.
We don't know, but it's your dead body got beamed onto an asteroid. But yeah, I thought that Chakotay moment was stunning.
I didn't notice because after the pilot, he devolves into the I'm the Native American guy who I occasionally say Vision Quest.
Sure.
And I listen to Janeway. That's what I do. I listen to Janeway and I tell people I have a spirit animal. Those are my two character traits.
Yeah. Well, Chakotay can have a Vision Quest in his quarters, hang up a dream catcher, whatever he needs to do. But when he's on an away mission and they're surveying things and this weird thing is happening with bodies, and you better start taking readings and notes, and we can't use our tricorders. It disturbs their gravesite. I'm like, get over that. Get off the ship. Anyway, back to the first episode. I don't know what we're doing here. We're going out of order.
Hey, we're talking about Voyager.
The big important thing with Caretaker is, of course, setting up all the characters. We scoop up Neelix and Kes. The premise is
Kes.
We'll talk about Kes. The premise is there's an array in space, and and from some distant part of the universe, at one point, two weird aliens that have a non-corporeal, weird life form shape that we can't see, come to the galaxy to explore, and they find they accidentally poisoned the homeworld of the Kessian people. And so to make up for this, they build this array, and they build them a home underground and constantly shoot energy at the planet to give them life and prosperity.
He babies them to a fault.
He babies them to a fault, yeah. They become like the civilization dependent.
The civilization the culture just kind of decayed and became entirely dependent
on
the caretaker.
The handouts from the caretaker. Energy, water, food.
Does the caretaker provide your meals too?
In fact, he does. He designed and built this entire city for us after the warming. The food processors dispense nutritional supplements every 4.1 intervals.
So they just live underground because the caretaker and his partner have fucked up their planet. Then the partner dies. The caretaker's
caretaker dies. The partner just leaves. That's a plot point. I don't think they ever. Do they ever pick up on that? Where they go looking for the other caretaker?
Yeah, I think so. In later seasons, yeah. Oh, the other caretaker left, not died, but the caretaker himself is dying. And I guess the ship's getting sucked.
It's really weird. He's trying to find a replacement for himself.
That's
and
right.
He thinks that Harry Kim and or Bellotta Torres might be genetically compatible.
Okay.
To be a replacement for him. That it's never explained to any degree of satisfaction of how they're supposed to replace him or what they're supposed to do or why they're supposed to do it.
He's desperately looking for a replacement before he dies.
It's a flimsy excuse for him to kidnap these ships from the Alpha Quadrant.
And so the moral quandary is that Captain Janeway can use the caretaker array to get home, but that would leave it non-destroyed, and then the Kazon would take over it and use it for bad things because they're bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Kessians would have like 2-3 years of power left, and they would have to learn to survive on their own. Without that, they're doomed to being enslaved or killed by the, Kazons, right? So that was basically save this little race or go home and feel pretty fucking bad about it.
Yeah.
That was so she blows up the caretaker array, and then they're stuck.
Yeah.
That's the premise. Our original doctor dies, as does our first officer. I always thought a really fun episode would be some kind of like spatial anomaly or radiation or electrical bolt or weird virus or something.
Sci-fi magic.
Sci-fi magic infects the systems of the Voyager's morgue and brings the doctor and the first officer back to life, though temporary. And then they have this weird conflict where Chakotay and the original first officer have to like settle their differences and like argue over who's going to be the first officer. And the original doctor has to like shut down the doctor's program. But then they start turning into zombies because they were only allowed to live for just a little bit. Wouldn't that be a fun episode?
Mike, do you have Alex Kurtzman? Are you okay?
I was like, what happened to them? Maybe they're in the morgue. They didn't beam them into space, right?
You know what? I never really thought about that, but yeah, there probably is a morgue that's just full of everyone.
Bring them back for an episode. Throw some conflict in there. They have to go back to, Janeway makes them go back and climb into the morgue. You're supposed to be dead. Get back in your morgue.
She would do it too.
I know.
She would do it.
If I have to die, at least I'll have the pleasure of watching you go with me.
I don't know why Chakotay didn't like Paris.
Because they were trying to establish crew dynamics, and everything they established to the pilot is just kind of, we're just gonna make them a normal Starfleet crew.
You betrayed us for what? Freedom from prison? Latinum? What was your price this time?
They wanted to establish tension between the characters that immediately gets ignored in every other episode.
Well, Chakotay and the Maquis have never really liked Tuvok for obvious reasons, because Tuvok was a spy on their ship, and then he reveals himself as a spy. And he's like, I was just doing my job. I'm Tuvok.
By the way, Chakotay, terrible judge of character.
Was I particularly naive? Was I not paying enough attention? What the hell was it that let all you spies get by me?
That's his other character trait. Terrible judge of character.
Yeah, sleeping with a Cardassian. He didn't smell all that Yemek sauce down below.
Well, that's a spot for that splat sound effect if I've ever heard one.
How does that work exactly?
Which, like as far as
The
making
genetic
it look,
alternations. I could see like adding more stuff to your face.
Maybe Chakotay has never properly seen a Bajoran woman naked.
No, I mean.
So for him, everything just looked fine.
I suppose they'd have to redo the whole body.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. She comes up later, Seska.
Yeah.
She's another character that would have been more interesting if she stuck around.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you knew she was
It's an interesting idea. Once it's revealed, oh, she was a Cardassian spy. Well, like, none of that matters anymore anyway. So why not just keep her around on the crew? You know, you might have more interesting character dynamics between her and Chakotay, but instead she just leaves. I don't know. One of my issues with Voyager, the way they just refuse to utilize anything that could be interesting.
They would keep a Cardassian spy on board?
What are they going to do? Just ditch her?
Well, I know, but like writing-wise, I guess...
She could have useful talents. They need crew members. I think she would have been an interesting crew member just to keep her around.
I mean, she was villainous, though. She wanted nothing but power, and like she was very antithetical of their...
I'm saying you don't have to necessarily write her that way.
Okay, I understand.
The concept of a Cardassian who had infiltrated them. Well, now none of that political shit going on in the Alpha Quadrant, none of that matters here. And it's just kind of like interesting. Like, you can keep her around, and it's like a weird situation, but interesting.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mike. Everything's been planned to the letter.
I can't remember why Chakotay doesn't like Tom Paris. Tom Paris tried to be a Maquis and failed at it.
Tom Paris isn't in prison because he got the cadets killed when he was in the academy.
It's a different character.
He's in prison because after he got kicked out of the academy, he was with the Maquis for about a week.
Yeah.
And instantly got captured.
Yeah. But why did that make Chakotay mad?
I don't know. Because he
he
got captured, but he wasn't good at his job. I don't know.
Have a mission with in it? I might say that in here, but...
He's probably annoyed that now he is working with Janeway to find him.
You'd like me to lead you to my former colleagues.
That's probably why he's annoyed with Tom Paris.
Yeah, that's fair. But there's always that kind of very low-level tension between Chakotay and Tuvok. Although it's not.
Is there?
It's not over the top.
They mentioned it once or twice afterwards.
Well, once you continue watching the series, there's little moments.
Okay.
Little moments where you can just tell the actors are playing it where they kind of just don't like each other. They're not chummy the way Paris and Kim are friends. There's no one really likes Tuvok on the crew, really nobody except for Janeway. They're all these, what I was going to say is the professionalism. All these people are all professionals in their universe, whether you're Maquis or Starfleet. You're in space, you're on a spaceship, everything's dangerous. There's no time for bickering and childish fighting and infighting and arguing. They get their job done, Rich.
Yeah.
I think maybe Harry wasn't quite prepared for how voracious Jenny Delaney can be.
Bridge to Captain Janeway.
Go ahead.
Captain, we're receiving a distress call in one of the lower subspace bands.
Sensors indicate 5 life forms aboard.
The vessel is altering its course to intercept us.
Go to yellow alert and slow to impulse. Hail them, Mr. Kim.
Aye, Captain.
You want more drama?
I don't know why they established the drama if they weren't going to utilize it. That's what I'm saying.
That's a fair complaint.
Yeah.
I agree. It's hard to say if the show would have been better if it played along those lines, or more off-putting and not as successful. You kind of stick with what works, but I don't know. I'm into this warm, fuzzy haze where I'm just happy to watch episodes that are self-contained and they make me happy. I must say, though, when they beam down the big container of water to give to the Kazons, And then they fire, Neelix, I think, fires a phaser at it, or Janeway does. And
Neelix does, because he's actually an interesting character.
It's a trick. I just hate that.
In the pilot episode, he's an interesting character.
Oh yeah. Well, Neelix, I don't think this much.
He has his moments.
I used to think he was the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek
He was never
Voyager,
that bad.
but
He was never that bad.
no, he's got some interesting, especially the Neelix episode later in this season. This was a fantastic episode. But anyways, we'll talk about that. I always hated how you could see the water nozzle on the prop. It's supposed to be spewing water out, but there's just a nozzle that's spraying it out.
Maybe that's the actual water nozzle.
I knew you were going to say that.
But the phaser blaster damaged the nozzle.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. And so I thought the ending of the show, it got all, they had that big scene where Janeway comes on the bridge.
We're alone. In an uncharted part of the galaxy.
Everybody, we're 70,000 light years from Earth. We're going to have to be a crew. We're going to have to work together. And we have one mission, to get home.
Somewhere along this journey,
Mr. Paris, set a course for home.
Mr. Paris, set a course for home.
And it has this like dramatic, emotional moment, and I just wanted Paris to say,
Aye, Captain.
okay, the course it's going to take about 37 hours for the computer to calculate it. This is like course set. I just want to hear him to ruin that whole speech by just saying that to plot a course 70,000 light years through all the different planetary systems and asteroid belts and weird spatial nebulas and all that kind of stuff would take the computer weeks to process.
They have pretty good computers.
Here's what I wrote. Y2 Cruise, I hate the idea of the Maquis very specifically. I don't like the Maquis. I don't like Starfleet members joining the Maquis.
Yeah.
I think that's a little too far in terms of like how utopian-esque Earth is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And especially all the different conflicts across the galaxy that they've encountered.
I mean, it makes sense insofar as like those Starfleet officers who join, they might be very principled and they don't agree with Starfleet's decisions they've made with the Cardassians. They don't like what the Cardassians are doing, so they've left to do this. I'm okay with that.
If clashes could occur due to different ethical views, was it utilized enough? Maybe.
Yeah.
I also think the show should have had a finite number of extras.
Yes. That would be very hard to do. Very hard to keep an extra around for 7 seasons. I'll forgive them that.
I would have loved that though. If they hired exactly like 200 people and put them on a roll call, like a rotating roll call, and then you see that guy and he shows up 6 seasons later and there he is again, and where it's like very distinct.
What annoys me more is, I understand budgetary reasons why they didn't do these things. The ship should have been falling apart consistently throughout the series. It's too clean and beautiful. Now if it's like clean and beautiful at first, and then you get to season 3 and like shit's breaking down, lights aren't working, and you get to season 7 and the ship's really beat the up. They had to replace like a nacelle with like parts of some alien ship they found. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It would have been awesome. And they don't do that. They go through, like how many shuttlecrafts?
I don't know. I don't know how many they had, but they eventually built the Delta Flyer, and they use that all the time.
Yeah.
I think they built 2 Delta Flyers. I think one got blown up. But yes, I know what you're saying, but they have their beauty passes of the shots.
And
of
they
the
have
ship.
to keep using that.
It's like the episode where they had the Borg technology infused on the ship.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, for no reason at all, Jane was like, tear all that Borg stuff off the ship.
You already did the beauty shots for that episode. Just keep it. Just keep it.
I know.
Keep it.
It was very hard for them to get out of their episode of the week mindset.
Yeah.
And kind of go to this radical, different idea. I agree with you, yeah. They lose their warp nacelle. It gets blown up, and then they have to like have it replaced with a similar nacelle from a different spaceship.
Maybe they have to go to a different planet and make a deal with some scuzzy people. We desperately need these parts. So much they could have done, and it's not fair. But I do judge Voyager based on things I think they could have done.
How about this? We'll take it like really far.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek Andromeda.
Yeah.
They get
other galaxy. Yeah.
Dropped in the middle of the giant vast space between the Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda
that's
galaxy.
Too crazy.
And then they have to find there's just weird things in between. See, that was my problem also a problem with Voyager. They're on the other side of the galaxy, and what do they have there? The same shit we have over here. All these aliens, they're one of the first 3 episodes is just people that just look like humans.
I've never seen a Carlton with your color hair.
Well, now you have.
And I get it. Makeup costs money. Every race they encounter can't just be blah, 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 blah. Oh no.
Well, plus they're constantly moving, so you introduce new races, and you have to leave them behind by virtue of the fact the ship has to keep going home.
Right. Yeah. You could occasionally run into Kazon for a little bit, but then after a while they go away. But then you come into new races, but like. I don't know, when they're on 70,000 light years away from Earth and there's people that just look basically human. Okay. How about just an intergalactic, not interstellar, intergalactic series of Star Trek?
Maybe. Sure. You have to get some really funky, weird ideas, though.
They might have done
and then ignore all of those ideas just to do standard TNG style episodes.
Not anymore, baby. Not with Alex Kurtzman in charge.
Star Trek is dead.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Thank you so much.
I heard from my source.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the numbers?
Yeah.
The entire
What do you mean the entire? What do you mean?
First season of Star Trek.
Every episode views total is what you mean?
Not individual episodes, the entire season, total views, about 400,000.
Yeah.
Not per episode.
Yeah.
Cumulatively, the entire season.
Yeah.
About 400,000 views.
Yeah. Whatever.
Which is an average of, I don't know, maybe 40,000 views an episode.
I am past.
This is from someone that...
I'm past giving a shit. I know.
The thing about this show is that it really could go on forever because you're going to have a new class every year.
Yeah, whatever. What's next? What's this? We were still talking about Caretaker, Mike. We got to talk about Parallax.
Okay, let's talk about Parallax.
I barely remember anything other than this is the obligatory introduce B'Elanna Torres as chief engineer episode.
Yes.
It's a fine episode. She proves her worth to Janeway.
Yes.
They get along like gangbusters at the end of this episode. It's nice.
This is Parallax, a.k.a. Girls Get It Done. We're going to have to kick some protocols of who's in charge. A spatial anomaly with an event horizon, the Voyager's trapped in the time loop kind of thing. Those are the problems solved. Chakotay has an epic hard-on for getting B'Elanna the job. She's certainly capable.
B'Elanna Torres? I don't need support from anybody.
You are if you're going to be chief engineer of this ship.
Carrie is the senior officer in engineering.
If you look at it that way, none of my people will ever have seniority.
That's the problem, right there. They're not your people. You're treating the Maquis on this ship like they're still your crew.
And I think he's looking out for his own crew.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure she's not just relegated to like third engineer, so she's happy.
We're ready to dock.
All right, cut the thrusters.
Shields are down.
Time and again.
Great episode.
This is allegory for modern day nuclear energy and eco-terrorism.
Yes.
These are the human people. They didn't bother with any makeup.
That's fine. That happens. That happens every now and then.
I'd rather just have that, because I could just imagine. They all look like Google Globs aliens.
Yeah.
But they just didn't bother. Instead of putting like a little blob on their nose or shit on their face.
Well, it's because they knew that that Janeway and Paris were going to get stranded on their planet, and so they had to look like the aliens that were there.
Yeah. They didn't have time to like. Remember when they dressed Chakotay up in the phage, Vrelars?
The phage aliens is what I've always called them.
They're called
Rastafarians or something.
Vidians.
That was okay.
I'm gonna call them Vrelars. Vrelar. It just sounds like a space emperor. Emperor Vrelar. Oh yeah, Janeway gets pistol whipped. Kim and Torres figure out a way to break open time.
This device uses the same polaric energy that destroyed the planet.
At intense levels, it can open a subspace fracture.
And Chakotay just says, "Nice work."
Nice work.
I found that scene particularly interesting. And we have some very, very noticeable gaff tape covering the manufacturer on the little clock.
Oh my God.
Which is fine. But so this episode's about they find the civilization that have blown themselves up because they're using a kind of dangerous energy, a la nuclear energy, Chernobyl kind of thing.
But it also opened up like time fissures.
So dangerous, it opened up time fissures, which led them to pop back in time. And then it becomes a paradox, self-fulfilling prophecy. A paradox not a paradox.
It's a type of paradox. I forget what it's. Bootstrap paradox? No. Shit. There's a specific name. It's not just paradox. It is a paradox, but it's a something paradox.
It's like the Terminator paradox.
Yeah. It's
no one ever made the chip that programs the Terminator's brain.
Yeah. It might actually be Bootstrap.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So the fact that they found, I think Tom Paris says something about that in the previous episode, which is similar.
Let me get this straight. We were cruising along at Warp 7, then we pick up a distress call and moved in to investigate.
Because he's like, well, okay, if we're there already.
But now you're saying that the other ship is actually just a reflection of us, and that the distress call is actually just the captain's opening hail.
How did we, get here? Because he was confused by it,
But we picked up the distress call before she sent the hail. How could we have been seeing a reflection of something we hadn't even done yet?
And then he's like, am I stupid? And then
Janeway's like, yes.
Yes. I was like, I get what he's saying.
This is basic temporal mechanics.
Yeah. You must have failed quantum temporal mechanics, Mr. Paris.
Am I making any sense here?
No, but that's okay. One of the more difficult concepts to grasp in temporal mechanics is that sometimes effect can precede cause.
So, they realized that they kind of caused the explosion that they came and found in the first place.
Yes.
But yeah.
So the Equiterrorists were right.
Yeah.
Because I think the Equiterrorists caused the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the message is. Go commit eco-terrorism. I mean, it's a fun episode. I'm not sure what the message is. But I gave it a smiley face plus.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a fun episode.
Okay.
It's a fun episode.
Now, let's talk about the phage. AKA how Neelix learned not to volunteer for away missions. It starts off with Neelix. He's a go-getter, busybody. He's doing all these things. It's a little Neelix story. And he goes from that to being a complete invalid who cannot move or else he will die.
This episode kind of brings Star Trek back to its TOS roots. This is a horror story. This is big time body horror.
The second episode with the Vidians is even worse.
Yeah. No, this is an alien race, and they're all suffering from some horrible plague. It's space leprosy. Their bodies are falling apart, and in order to stay alive, they have to keep harvesting organs from other races. And so they have developed weapons that will literally teleport your lungs out of your body. and then they just leave Neelix lying on the ground with no fucking lungs.
They're kind of a tragic story, the Vidians, because they admit that they're not. They may look like monsters, but they were once like a normal race of people that were artists and, poets and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, we're so fucked. We have to do this.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to die. And they kind of turn into monsters.
Yes.
Metaphorical and literal monsters, because they have the one guy's got like a patch of lizard skin.
Well, the makeup's very specifically meant to look grafted on pieces from different races.
I know. It's like, I'm a missing part of my face. I gotta get this part from a different race, and
they're an interesting and horrific concept.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's frightening. Their eyes. One's like a dead eye, and a different eye from a different species. It's a grotesque and horrifying concept. So yeah, Neelix loses his lungs, and the doctor gives him a holographic lungs in a radical surgical stroke of brilliance.
If TNG did this, it would have been a great ethical episode about Neelix wanting to commit euthanasia.
Yeah.
Instead, it's fine. It's a fine episode, but it is just a horror story. They didn't. I'm sorry.
It didn't quite get to that though.
I'm sorry they didn't do more with the ethical issue, like Neelix suffering and do I want to end my existence? What is it going to be like living like this for the rest of my life? I literally can't move 1 millimeter.
No. I'm okay with it, because that just would have been a copy of the Worf is paralyzed.
It would have been just a rehash of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't. The ethical dilemma came from when Janeway didn't know what to do, because they're like, we've already put the organs in this guy.
So now I am left with the same choice you made. Whether to commit murder to save a life, or to allow my own crewman to die while you breathe air through his lungs.
That's another one where 20 years ago, when I watched this the first time, I was like, Janeway, what the f***? And now I'm watching this like, yeah, what else is she going to do?
Right.
Is she just going to execute them? Yeah, okay.
Right.
I understand why she made that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has, I have to take one life to give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Janeway kind of almost empathizes with them, and once they realize that she isn't going to steal the lungs back, they agree to kind of work together. And the Kess wanted to donate a lung for Neelix, and the doctor's like, you're completely different species. I can't do that. That's beyond my medical knowledge. But these guys have vast surgical knowledge of moving organs around from different races, so they're like the experts on this, and they're like, we can do it.
Yeah.
And this guy's got Neelix's lungs. Neelix has one of Kess's lungs.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy. And so that's kind
Except for Kess, because she's got one lung now.
So same. Neelix has one fucking lung.
Neelix has one lung.
And then
it's a good thing, it's a miracle they didn't have breathing issues in episodes after this. It's almost like it never happened.
I know. Well, you don't know that somewhere along the way at some never seen episode.
Like between scenes.
Yeah. The doctor has discovered this crazy new therapy to increase your lung capacity.
Or it's just like after the camera cuts away, Neelix goes, excuse me, I'm out of breath. But they just never show it. Yeah.
Cut to all the scenes of Neelix running and all the different stuff. And then this is kind of where the doctor is starting to learn he has no bedside manner.
When do I get out of this restraint?
Unless Captain Janeway is successful in retrieving your original lungs, you'll have to stay in the isotropic restraint indefinitely.
Whatsoever, because Neelix starts having a panic attack because he can't move, and all the doctor can do is just sedate him.
Why did they program the emergency medical program to have poor bedside manner?
Because he's an emergency medical program.
They
programmed him with a lot of sass.
Okay.
And even a slight sense of humor.
Okay.
Because he's there for the warp plasma conduit exploded, and there's a triage of burned people to just be efficient.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
It works in a story context.
Okay.
What were we doing in a nebula? No, wait, don't tell me. We were investigating. That's all we do around here. Why pretend we're going home at all? All we're going to do is investigate every cubic millimeter of this quadrant, aren't we?
Okay, the Cloud, aka another space thing.
I have nothing to say about this. This is definitely one of my neutral face episodes.
Yes, I have this highlighted as a non-great.
Yeah.
This
episode exists.
They think it's a cloud of spatial gas or something, and they go in there and they rip it open because it's an organism.
Yeah, well, they don't know it's one giant organism.
They don't know that.
They did this same premise better in TOS.
Yeah, there's a theme running throughout about Chakotay's spirit animal nonsense. I mean, Chakotay's spirit animal, where I secretly think Janeway was mocking him.
Is there a different animal guide for everyone?
No,
Tell me about my spirit animal, Chakotay. What is it?
Will it help me find my animal guide?
Eventually, you'll have to assemble your own medicine bundle.
And then she's like, "You're a bear, aren't you?"
You strike me as the bear type.
Thank you.
No, actually not. My spirit animal's a chipmunk.
Did they want a romantic interest with Janeway and
There's
Chakotay?
been
They
a
just
will they, won't they.
never played out. Yeah.
It's been a will they, won't they.
That's what it is.
Until he started having a romantic affair with 7 of 9, which...
Because they never did anything with a romantic affair between Chakotay and Janeway, and so, well, okay, I guess 7 then. I don't know.
That's the thing, is season 1 is solid.
Yeah.
I was kind of always, like, watching all these episodes, I kept thinking about how you would always say that a comic book, the Fantastic Four, they weren't superheroes, but they were people that had superhero powers, but they went out in space.
They do a lot of exploring.
Weird
Fantastic.
space.
I mean, technically,
fantastic.
You'd have a lot of people jumping down my throat if I said they're not superheroes. But they are. I would describe them, in my view, how they're primarily explorers.
Yeah. Where they would have weird space.
They don't worry about putting people in jail. They go to the negative zone and have an adventure where they get involved in an adventure in the negative zone.
Right. And see, that's kind of the way I look at Voyager. Voyager itself is, I believe, a science vessel. Janeway has a background of science, less, Kirk, Picard, more command, diplomatic. She's more science-based. And so a handful of the first adventures in season 1 are very like weird, bizarro science problems.
Well, this is a problem. One of them is a temporal reflection. But which one?
Time paradigm. And I know those exist in Star Trek, but with TNG, you have a lot of politics, different races, and the Federation Prime Directive, and we've got to go negotiate.
A lot of first contact type stuff.
We got to go negotiate a peace treaty between this, and this is just like, here's a weird thing. Let's come up with these crazy scientific reasons why we have to solve this problem. And I thought that's kind of what the angle was, and that does play out. And there's a lot of fucking bizarre things that happen in Voyager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. More so than Deep Space Nine.
I don't know how I'm going to enter this into the log.
I look forward to reading it.
Like, Deep Space Nine is very, very political. Voyager has a flair of weird science stuff.
Kira and Sisko never had salamander babies together.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of the way I see a lot of this stuff. That's what this Cloud episode is. There's a lot of funny lines in this particular episode.
Now look what she's gotten us into.
B'Elanna's the only one I know who tried to kill her animal guide.
Is that a new color lipstick? Well, let's see if we can find some space anomaly today that might rip it apart.
Neelix is going crazy because he doesn't...
Oh, he's scared, and he doesn't like that they're just rushing themselves into dangerous situations.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Mike. Neelix is right. They're stranded on the other side of the galaxy. They can't afford to take losses, and yet they do jump into the fray quite a lot.
I want to say a lot of the times when they do explore things, it's because they're looking for a resource.
Sure.
Or it is part of their charter. Seek out new life, new civilizations.
You can't replace Ensign Kim. You can't replace anyone. You can't go to Starfleet Academy. When
I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, sure.
I'm just saying, Neelix's point of we should play it safe
He's got a point.
He's got a point.
In a lot of situations.
He's got a point.
Let's skip that nebula.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. But this one, they look into this thing and they realize it's a thing. So the doctor...
They look into the thing and realize that it's a thing.
Space thing.
The space thing. Oh, it's actually, okay, we looked at the thing and we didn't realize it's a space thing.
It's a space thing. Chakotay, spirit animal nonsense. Janeway mocks him about it. Neelix...
I think she's genuinely interested. I do.
She's teasing him. She doesn't give a fuck. Neelix brings snacks to the bridge when they're working on the space thing. How do we fix this space thing, Doctor? Well, we could suture the hole by shooting energy and using Voyager to pull it together. Okay, let's do that. And Neelix comes up with a tray of food, and everyone's just like eating the snacks.
He went from being a spaced used car salesman to being like just somebody with like just people-pleasing problems. He's very rapidly, Neelix.
He's a master of all trades.
Yeah.
That Neelix.
That's a Starfleet expression for get out.
Moving on, Eye of the Needle. This one was...
I'm not sure. I'll have to give it some thought.
I have a smiley face. It's not a smiley face plus. It is just a smiley face.
Well, here's where I first started to notice something. Is that Harry Kim is being set up as our first gay character in Star Trek.
I know you're disappointed, Harry. We all are.
He has no interest in the sisters.
Okay. So first thing first is...
Well, he has a girlfriend back home. Are you saying she's a beard in this enlightened future?
I don't know if she exists.
You don't know that she exists?
That's like his girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Why would he lie about this? This is the future, the bright utopian future. He has no reason to lie about this. Everybody would accept him for who he is.
Not Rick Berman.
That's true.
Listen, Harry Kim has a girlfriend back home.
People are going to start pairing off. And if we don't get to the Delaney sisters in stellar cartography soon, somebody else will. I got a girl back home. So what? I got 5.
When Tom Paris is like, "Hey Harry, let's go on a double date with the Delaney sisters," you know, he's like, "No, I don't want to do that. I got a girl back home. Come on, she'll understand. You're not going to see her for 70 years. Just start fucking the crew."
Let her go. Let her have a husband and kids and a good life, while you and I have the Delaney sisters.
Then there's a scene, inexplicably, where Tom Paris comes into his quarters and he has a sleep mask on. And he's like, "What's with the sleep mask, Harry?" And he's like, "My roommate used to study all night, so I wear this sleep mask."
You'd be surprised at things you learn in prison.
Then the last thing is in Prime Factors, where Harry Kim is, it's like a pleasure planet. It's like a Ryza kind of thing, where this planet just welcomes you. And there's a girl. Everyone has these weird like metal rings on their heads.
Less sex focused than Ryza, but definitely chill out and enjoy yourself.
Yes, and this girl is aggressively hitting on Harry Kim, and she's like, "Step on this transporter pad." Oh, we're on another planet, 40,000 light years away. And he's like, "Let's." What? How are we here? And she's like, "Who cares? Let's just fuck."
And then, God no.
He said, God no.
I couldn't do that.
Harry, you got her, and then went back and told Janeway what you found, right?
Maybe he really loves his girl back home. Have you considered that? Maybe it's true love, Mike. It's true love, that girl he's got back home.
Okay. I'm just saying maybe.
Okay.
They were in the process of setting it up.
I don't think Rick Berman would.
I felt the same way about Dominic Keating's character in Enterprise.
Yeah.
Which one would you prefer?
Are those real butterflies or some kind of holograms?
Do you remember him? He was the tactical officer.
Enterprise. Okay.
There was a couple of like moments in Enterprise, and they never pulled the trigger on that one.
My
either.
Enterprise knowledge is
really
lacking.
Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, so
I know if he didn't pull the trigger on Garrick and Bashir, he was never going to pull the trigger on Harry Kim.
Yeah. Then there's an entire crew. There's 2,000 people on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
There could be dozens, hundreds of gay couples.
Sure.
That we just haven't seen.
Sure.
And you're right. If Harry Kim said, Tom, I'm not interested in the Delaney sisters.
Tom Paris would have been, I
Point
get
me
it.
to the Delaney brothers. And Tom Paris would have said, okay.
That's the future it is. It's a beautiful place, Mike.
Beautiful
It's a beautiful place. It's not even a joke.
Just the studio executives in the 90s.
They were not ready for it.
Not ready for it. But now they are, and no one cares.
This seems like a thing that is entirely appropriate to be emotional about. I mean, so the reason I asked you about this is that.
But I think that to me it was really important to push forward what is possible in Trek. I think also for me, representation on screen really, really matters. And
okay, so micro wormhole is a miniature microscopic wormhole that leads to the Alpha Quadrant. What do they find?
They find communication with a Romulan man.
Yeah, so just random guy who happens to be on a Romulan science ship.
And he could help us get in touch with home. But he's a Romulan, and the political situation is not the best it's ever been between the two factions.
And what is the twist?
It's 20 years. The wormhole goes to Romulus, but 20 years in the past.
It doesn't go to Romulus.
It goes to the Romulan command, the ship he's on.
Yeah, but Janeway begins to. He's very skeptical. He's very mistrusting of he thinks it's a trick.
Now,
typical Romulan behavior.
Can I ask you a question? Because it's not just communication. They eventually find out they can possibly transport themselves over to his ship. Now, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's 20 years in the past, should they have taken that?
The temporal prime directive.
Okay.
They discussed it.
Okay.
They definitely discussed it.
Yeah.
As they do in Star Trek, which is lovely.
Yes.
Harry's like, let's go back, and she's like, no, the whole timeline will be fucked up. Can't do it.
Your personal opinion. If you were in Voyager's situation, and it's gonna take you 75 years to get home, would you take the 20-year past hit just to get back home?
I mean, yeah. I would go back 20 years and buy like Amazon stock. I'd buy Bitcoin.
Oh, ground floor Bitcoin.
So Janeway's talking to this guy and kind of warming up to him, getting him to kind of understand their plight. Do you have a family back home? And trying to pull some humanity out of him because a typical Romulan, he's mistrusting. He thinks it's a trick. He thinks it's
it's fair play on his part.
Fair play, and then they figure out they beam him over. And he's like, hi, I'm a Romulan. And Tuvok notices a temporal displacement, and so he's like, oh, this is what year is it? Blah, blah, blah. Very similar to a Deep Space Nine episode called The Sound of Her Voice, which I really like that episode. So that's that. Interesting. A little taste of maybe getting home.
It's a fine episode.
Then let's move on. We've got a long way to go.
Next is my only episode I didn't like one bit.
Which one was this again?
Post Facto, aka Tom Paris is a murderer.
It's a completely standard TNG episode.
You mean like A Matter of Perspective?
Yeah.
Where Will Riker sleeps with the wife of a scientist and is then accused of murder?
Yeah. So it is literally a TNG episode.
Yeah, I absolutely hated this episode. Tom Paris gets burned memory engrams of himself stabbing the jealous husband of the lady.
I'm not going to go as far as hate, but goddamn, is this a definition of filler?
Oh, yeah. But here's my question.
Yeah.
How did it end? Because I fell asleep. I'm assuming Tom Paris had false memory engrams implanted to his brain. By the wife?
It was the guy who did the implant memories because it was spy shit. They were trying to smuggle out spy shit, and they were going to do it through Tom Paris's memories. I forgot the details.
Okay.
I literally forgot the details.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Yeah.
You bet. I fell asleep.
I know the wife did it.
The wife
But
was involved?
she was in cahoots with the other guy
who couldn't have
part of the
predicted
government
that?
doing memories because they were working with the
You mean
the
Tom
guys that were
Paris
having
didn't
wars
stab
with.
him?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm out. For these reasons, I'm out.
Scotty didn't murder that prostitute either, okay?
You don't mind, do you? I might even get back to the ship on time.
We won't leave without you, Scotty. Relax and enjoy yourself.
This isn't Star Trek's first rodeo with murder accusations.
But was Tom Paris possessed by Jack the Ripper?
No, it's far less interesting than it was in TOS.
We talked about Emanations.
Really good episode.
Mummies. Prime Factors.
Great episode.
Love.
I wish there were more episodes like Prime Factors.
Yes, this is the Merovingian.
We cannot share our technology. Once it's out of our control, it might fall into the hands of those who would abuse it.
Causality. Action, reaction. Cause and effect.
I call him the Merovingian because he reminds me of that character from...
I don't remember any other names, so I think it's fine.
No, this is from The Matrix Reloaded.
Okay.
The French guy.
Sure.
I almost thought it was the same actor. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Exquisite.
But
so that guy, he's schmoozing Janeway. I said this is everyone stabs Janeway in the back. B'Elanna, and then the
B'Elanna, the guy she's googly eyes with, and Tuvok. Fucking
Tuvok. Did you say Tuvok?
I did because
okay.
Tuvok.
Wow. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, happy planet, pleasure planet, happy people.
They want Voyagers to come and chill out and enjoy all of our stuff.
But by the way, we also have this transporter pad that can just beam you 40,000, half your journey home.
More than half of the way home.
Yes, and this technology is the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Can we have it? No. We have our own version of the Prime Directive that says you cannot.
We don't know what other species will do with this technology.
And Janeway's like,
we can't take that risk.
I understand. So the crew, the sketchier members of the crew, some former Maquis, even Lieutenant Carey, who's now acting as the chief engineer.
Well, he was in the running for the chief engineer with B'Elanna Torres, and now he's just working under her.
B'Elanna's in charge.
Yes.
He says, I'm with you on this one.
I'm with you on this one. After all, it doesn't hurt to theorize. I have a wife and 2 little boys. I don't want them to grow up without a father. I'd do anything to prevent that.
Sick bay to bridge.
They've killed Lieutenant Carey.
Let's steal that technology. Let's trade for what these people want, which is all the stories.
This is the kind of dilemmas I think they should have done more of with
yeah.
the crew being that desperate to get back.
Yeah.
And Janeway trying to hold on to her ideals.
And going behind Janeway's back.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And so they meet, and so I'm wondering, like, what are the dilemma? If I were Janeway, what are your choices, right? Mm-hmm. And I wrote down a couple of choices. As Janeway, you could say, I'm the captain, let's trade them stories. I'm going to just break the Prime Directive and get the device from Sketchy Guy. The main guy who's in charge won't take the stories, right?
They have just putting myself in her shoes, they have a potential 40-year shortcut on their hands. There's no reason they can't take their time with this and just play the long diplomatic game. She should have made it very clear with the crew. Like,
that's option 4.
Anything we do to disrupt this might make them less interested in giving us our technology, and then they would have had motive not to go behind her back. She could have told her crew, look, this might take us years. We're on like a pleasure planet where they love having us around. let me just schmooze up to these people for as long as it takes. And until I am absolutely sure they won't help us, we're going to keep trying the diplomatic thing. It's our best chance of getting home.
Well,
by far.
Yeah, well, that's a general option. Option one is her working with the sketchy guy who's just going to give them the technology in exchange for stories, and then...
I thought that was going to be like a test. Like, oh, well, now we know you're not ready to receive our technology.
Oh,
you don't
right,
even
right.
hold... I thought that was going to be the twist.
No, but that's Janeway's option. She gets the thing, uses it, they jump 40,000 light years, jump another 30, they're home. Then she says, I, Captain Janeway, horribly violated the Prime Directive. Court-martial me. I solely acted on my own behalf. No one else did anything. I'm going into Starfleet prison forever, but my crew got home.
Yeah.
Option one. That's kind of what Tuvok's logic was in going and doing it himself, which was just nuts that he did that.
Do you? I guess he's a Vulcan. He doesn't lie. But do you trust him when he says, "I was doing it for you, Janeway"?
But in this instance, your standards would not allow you to violate Sakarian law. Someone had to spare you the ethical dilemma. I was the logical choice.
I do.
Okay.
And because his logic was sound, but it wasn't. It was just I thought he was going down there and he brought back a fake one to see like if B'Elanna Torres would use it. But they ended up using it and it failed. You know,
they didn't fully understand the technology.
They didn't fully understand. But the other option too was like the main guy, who I call the Merovingian. He was like, I work on the council and blah, 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 blah. And I would just slow play it, like you said, and kind of work some strings to kind of get him like removed from the council.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have years to do this. Years to go over his head.
Very slowly, through arduous political processes, replace every member on the council with sketchy people that want stories from our Federation archives. I'm casting ballots. We don't need voter ID on this planet. Oh, you know, sketchy Magoo got elected to the council. We only need 3 more council members. Finally, they've changed the law to allow technology to strangers. I guess it's a gray area, Prime Directive-wise, but it's an option. However, we only have 41 minutes to tell this story.
I understand, and I'm fine with the story they told. This is a highlight. This is a highlight of the season.
Yeah, because I said affect government internally.
You've changed. If that's true, I take it as a compliment.
And B'Elanna grows as a character. That's an important element here, too.
We're not the only ones. Everyone wants to get back. They're just waiting for someone to act.
Okay, State of Flux is when we finally reveal that Seska is a monster.
What do you think?
Yeah.
An evil Cardassian agent infiltrating, and it's given away because she steals Neelix's rations in the food pantry to make chicote mushroom soup.
Go ahead, Neelix.
I'd like to report a crime. Someone has broken into my kitchen and stolen food, taken food out of the mouths of their crewmates.
I know.
It was that Seska.
And then
Well, I kind of like that she does seem to legitimately like Chakotay. I don't know if that's all lies.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't know, but she has a totally different view of how they should handle their situation in the Delta Quadrant, which is they should form alliances and become as powerful as they possibly can. So she tries to form an alliance with the Kazon by giving them the technology to make a food replicator, but they accidentally blow it up in their face.
in like horrific ways.
In a horrific way, yes. So it's kind of like a whodunit because they suspect
Ensign, the engineer guy again.
Carrie.
Yeah, I think it's
Carrie. Yeah. They grill Carrie. They grill Seska. They're like, she's like, I don't know, doing secret under the table stuff.
She's trying to cover up her crimes.
She even has a good excuse of why her blood test came back as having Cardassian elements in it because she had a sickness as a kid. And she's like, no one believes you. there's that wonderful scene where Tuvok and Chakotay are waiting for her to, or the culprit, to enter the codes to kind of like cover up the logs, and they're playing gin. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And Chakotay is like, Tuvok, how do you always win at gin? It's like, it's very easy. I place down cards which you think I don't need because I'm really trying to make you think into thinking I need other cards when I really don't. Something like that.
Yeah.
It is simply a matter of logical discards, which give a false impression of my own requirements and deny the needed cards to your hand.
That's that. Seska beams off and escapes, later to return. Ha ha ha, I will get you, He-Man.
I know, she becomes a cartoon villain.
But tell me, Rich, do you like the Beowulf episode?
It's fine. You get a Doctor episode.
I didn't know.
You get a Doctor episode.
I don't love it, but
I don't hate it.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was different and it was cute, very TNG-esque.
I have a smiley face on it. It's not a smiley face plus, it's just a smiley face. But you get the Doctor going on his first, away mission because he can actually go into the holodeck.
Right.
Because the holodeck is just a really terrible piece of technology because it starts dematerializing people.
If the holodeck's conversion nodes were contaminated, Ensign Kim may have inadvertently undergone the process of matter conversion.
You're saying he might have been converted into energy?
It's the episode's the premise of the episode. It's the Doctor's hero's journey. A transporter glitch involving collecting space samples of space gas leads to the holographic Doctor into the story of Beowulf on a mission to save trapped crew members by slaying Grendel, who is disguised as a space entity. All that happens in the first 4 minutes. Because Harry Kim's he's in the program on a holographic adventure trying to be Beowulf, slaying Grendel in the old story.
The fun part is the Doctor going into the Beowulf program and the holodeck characters treating him like he's an epic hero.
Yeah.
That's fun. They like hand him a sword, he can't even pick it up.
It's a fish out of water adventure episode.
Yeah. He makes a nice little relationship with the Freya. And he feels terrible when she dies because she's a hologram like him.
But here's the thing: should he feel terrible?
Yes. It depends on whether or not he's evolved to the point where he can feel yet. That's a good question.
I used to always wonder what the Doctor is, but now with the rise of AI, I kind of get it more.
Yeah.
Where he can be programmed further to kind of learn and emulate emotions and kind of speak as a person, but whether or not he would mourn the death of a holographic character.
The question is whether it's simulated mourning or there's anything genuine to it. At what point does the Doctor, but you could say the exact same shit about Data. It's the same Picard argument. I don't know if he's sentient, but I couldn't, if there's even a chance.
What about self-awareness? What does that mean? Why am I self-aware?
Because if the Doctor lost a real life patient, he wouldn't be like, okay,
yeah,
can someone shut off my program? No, he's programmed to probably, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the feeling like we were supposed to believe that he genuinely felt sadness for the death of Freya. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think the intent is that he does. Whether or not that makes sense, if you look at it from why would you program, I don't know, but.
Sounds like you had quite an adventure on that holodeck, Doctor.
Let's talk about cathexis.
Which one was this? This is the one that starts off with Janeway's really boring holodeck program.
Yes. Listen.
I want to be an unrespected nanny in the 1700s.
Doesn't she?
That's my holodeck fantasy.
Doesn't she move up to Harlequin romance stuff at some point?
She eventually falls in love with some hologram Irishman guy. Yeah.
But then later on she's hanging out with Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah. They never quite know what to do with her in the holodeck. They experiment around a lot on this show.
But they're just being fair because, you know, Picard rode around on horses and played Sherlock Holmes and all that kind of crap. And that's what the boys would do on the holodeck, right? They'd play Sherlock Holmes. They'd play, I don't know, Picard did Dixon Hill.
Cleveland? They got no pitches. They never got no pitches. What are you, nuts or something?
The record will stand until the year 2026, when a shortstop for the London Kings.
Hey, Dix, what gives with this guy?
Sherlock Holmes was Geordie and Data.
Would you do it? Okay, if you had a holodeck, would you do any of this shit? Would you find some kind of like game to play?
I don't know. I don't know what I would do with a holodeck.
Okay. I don't know that I would want to act out what other fictional characters did. Like maybe like a 3D movie where I'm watching it? Maybe.
I don't know. These are people in the 24th century. Their lives are completely different. Their association with media and entertainment is totally different than ours is now.
That's true.
So, but we've never really seen what a lady would do with her own holodeck choices, right? She wants to be in a Jane Austen novel. I don't know. But it is boring and stupid. And I think it has nothing to do with the rest of the plot.
No, they're developing her character a bit.
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's give her something that she's interested in personally, like Picard and Dixon Hill.
Yeah, the opening line is, sometimes it's good to get away from being the captain for a while. I went, oh.
Sometimes it's a good idea to get away from being a captain for a while. To that end, I've started participating in a new holo novel. The setting is ancient England.
But I did notice one thing. The mean lady that's talking to Janeway in that scene.
Let's make something clear, Mrs. Davenport. My job is to make sure that this household runs smoothly.
Is totally, I haven't even looked it up, but it's definitely that Romulan, the lady who played the Romulan in the Face of the Enemy episode with Counselor Troy.
I would have to watch that
When
again.
Troy gets augmented to look like a member of the Tal Shiar.
I would have to watch that again.
Yeah, and that's that captain who's the female Romulan captain who's real evil.
Yeah.
It's that same actress. I know it.
Contrary to the propaganda that your superiors would have us believe, Starfleet is neither weak nor foolish.
This is Chakotay's spirit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a mystery.
It's not a mystery. I knew there was Chakotay's spirit the whole time. The one common denominator is Chakotay's unconscious.
Yeah.
And he has no brain activity. But then people are suddenly being taken over by something.
Even though it's an easily guessable mystery, it doesn't mean it's not a mystery. None of the crew knows what's going on.
There's not enough twists. They go to a dark matter nebula.
I mean, there's a twist that there's two entities. There's a twist.
The nebula, the entities want to take over the bodies. It's like when they found the penal colony, the space penal colony.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
It has
Was it Troy, Data, and
O'Brien.
Yeah.
They got possessed by the space entities. So it's similar to that. They want to pull the ship in so they could inhabit all their bodies. We do meet Mr. Durst. Crewman Durst, the bald guy. That actor has a 2-episode contract. He has some lines in cathexis.
Oh, is he the one that gets his face skinned?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And I call him contest guy because I thought he was just a guy that won a contest. Because all of a sudden he's got lines, you know?
We're entering the nebula.
You know, it's a smart way if you want to have us to feel anything when he dies in the very next episode. You may, you got him around for a few days. Let's put him in the other episode too.
I've noticed that in previous Star Trek incarnation series is that, they'll hire an actress or an actor and they'll be like 2 episodes, maybe 3, but
the saboteur in the last episode of Deep Space Nine,
right.
season 1.
Yeah.
She was around the episode
2 episodes,
before that.
Right. And so it's like, well, we're shooting 2 this week.
Yeah.
And yet it keeps going after you.
Captain, I believe you are having a typically human response to circumstances which are frightening and inexplicable, commonly known as paranoia.
This was I call it a paranoia episode.
If we start pointing a finger every time someone gets distracted, It won't be long before outright paranoia starts sweeping the ship.
Who's really telling the truth? One of those?
I compared it to The Thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
The
Yeah.
Thing minus the body horror, but the paranoia. We don't know who is the alien. It could be anyone. We can't trust anyone.
And one of the very few times we see a phaser used on wide beam.
I know. I was so excited.
Very rarely happens. Seems like the most
You'd use it all the time.
epic thing you could do with your phaser all the time, and no one ever does it. I was just trying to hit that one mark. You're in a battle. There's 8 guys hiding behind like rusty barrels. And I'm like, wide beam that on kill.
On kill, Mike? On kill?
If you're in a battle. Wow. Wide beam that on kill.
I'm kicking you out of Starfleet. You can join the Marquee with that attitude. Maquis.
Maquis.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, unless you want my name in lights.
I mean, it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
There it is.
Check it out.
Anyways, yeah, they did phaser on wide beam in Deep Space Nine once when they're scanning for they're trying to find like a shapeshifter, so they're just like spraying the phaser around on like low energy. But they certainly didn't use it enough. So that's that.
I don't have anything else to add, but it's a fine episode.
Fine episode. They have the magic stone wheel, the Indian magic, and then Chakotay rearranges. So we gotta give Chakotay something to do that's Indian. How about the stone wheel?
That's his character. He has a culture.
He has a culture. He's super annoying about his culture. Okay, next episode is called Faces.
Really good episode. Highlight of the season.
Love it.
I find it extraordinary that you can endure it.
This is the episode where B'Elanna Torres, her Klingon and human side gets split in half. And she's always been at odds with her Klingon half because it gets her into trouble. And she has to learn to make some kind of peace with this.
Mm-hmm. It's a solid episode. And it has a hallmark of Star Trek episodes, which I will now coin a soup scene.
Okay.
I'm going to call it a soup scene. Does it have a soup scene? Because this episode has the most precise, laser-focused soup scene. And this is, Tuvok is in the mess hall. Neelix comes over and says, I made you Vulcan soup, right? And he's like, it's great to, go back to your roots.
A taste of home.
A taste of home, a little bit of yourself. Tuvok tastes the soup. He's like, oh God, this is like fucking like super spicy and awful tasting. Well, I added Talaxian spices to it.
It is rather piquant.
He's like, well, you ruined it.
Yeah.
It was better the way it was.
It's not a taste of home anymore.
Yes.
I must point out that if you take the liberty of changing a time-honored recipe, you are hardly presenting a taste of home.
It's metaphorical for what's happening and then it just ends. Everyone to the bridge, It's just it's a little, the soup scene is a little nugget to tell you what the rest of the episode's going to be about. The next episode, Jetrel has one.
Okay.
With the pool and the option for
playing it safe.
Neelix to play it safe.
All right. Safety.
And use the cheat when they're playing pool, and then that sort of comes back. So that's the soup scene in that episode. But in this one, they get kidnapped. They go down to a planetoid. I can't remember, and they get the Vidians.
I forget what they were looking for, something, but they get captured by the Vidians.
The Vidians capture them.
The phage aliens.
Yes, the phage aliens, and so they have Durst, Paris, B'Elanna.
And B'Elanna.
And it has like a pretty quick cold open too. It's like 8 seconds long. It's just like it pans down and we see a Klingon. It's like da 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 da, and then the titles play. But so the logic of the episode, it's really a character episode about how B'Elanna deals with her two conflicting halves. But the logic of the episode is that the Vidians think that the genetic makeup of a Klingon is strong enough to fight the phage off and provide an antibody, and so they they have great technology and they remove all the human elements, separate them from B'Elanna as a Klingon, and B'Elanna as a human becomes a separate character, person, somehow. So they have a
They can't explain it.
A body growing machine?
It happened. It just happened.
So don't worry
about it. It's not important.
Hand wave that
We're
shit.
trying to tell a story about accepting your other half, so this just has to happen so we can tell that story. It happened.
And at the end, the Klingon's dead, so they don't have her body. And so the doctor's just, well, just shove some DNA in there. Eventually you'll grow back the way you were. They didn't even have like a big chamber that's like cooking a new body. It's just like, maybe they used a transporter? I don't know.
Brute force isn't going to do it. Maybe not. Maybe we'll die in the attempt. But that's better than sitting here like frightened Tika cats doing nothing.
The actress, fantastic. Yeah. Her performance as a Klingon, nailed it.
It's exaggerated because they're trying to make them distinct for this episode, but it's weird that she also culturally became fully Klingon.
Well, see, that's the thing. There was a controversy with a new Strange New Worlds episode where that exact same premise occurred.
Yeah.
Where they made like, I think Patton was on that episode, where like they suddenly became different races genetically.
Yeah.
And that also made them like inherit the cultural aspects. And
that feels wrong to me.
The audience was calling it like soft racism, and people were like, even the apologists for the show were like, well, it was an okay episode, but I felt a little uncomfortable. I don't know all the details. I haven't seen it, but I caught some blips on that, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, Voyager in later seasons had a really good episode where they did something with this. You remember that crew member was like a friend of Harry Kim's, and she dies, and then this alien race, they take dead bodies, and they convert them into like their own race and make them like babies.
Right.
She was a really interesting character who kind of loses her humanity. And she has to deal with being different, but it's like things that are genetically different. Like her brain doesn't work the same way. She has 6 brain lobes. Really good episode that I think handled that kind of thing much better.
Right. Yeah, why this B'Elanna talks that way?
Because they're making a point of emphasizing the Klingon half. I get why they did it.
All of a sudden her teeth got bad.
Well, you could say that's genetic. I mean, Klingon teeth are jagged. It's not a healthcare thing. That's just what Klingon teeth are like.
But who did her hair?
I don't know.
It's all curly.
I don't know.
Did they take her to the salon?
I don't know.
Is that natural?
Because they did it because the audience gets what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least she didn't have a Klingon uniform on for some reason.
Yeah, that would have been a step too far.
That would have been a step too far.
Can't you even admit that you won't be able to get out of here without me? I don't know that I can get out of here with you.
But at the heart of the episode, it's a character study about separating your two selves. They've done a lot.
You are aspects of myself I don't like, and now I have to come to terms with you. And I see that you can offer me things, and you do benefit me in some ways.
I'm incomplete. It doesn't feel like me. I guess I just have to accept the fact that I'll spend the rest of my life fighting with her.
So when B'Elanna is a Klingon and she has the scientist guy that's working with her, and he's like she kind of like tries to woo him, like or trick him with her feminine wiles to get him to let her free so she could beat his ass. And he's like, I'm sorry, I look like a fucking monster. But really, like, we're quite a handsome culture, and we're working towards it. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'd be into you.
She's playing him.
She's playing him. And then the next scene, he comes back with Ensign Durst's face. Texas Chainsaw Massacre style.
Durst.
I thought perhaps this new face would make you more comfortable with me.
They're horrific aliens.
And he's like, how do I look now? They're insane now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was shocked they went that far on a Paramount UPN program, a G-rated UPN program. I thought that was shocking, but also awesome.
It is definitely awesome. I think they just wanted to shock you into watching. This wasn't just the new Star Trek show. This was the launch to the UPN network, which is another thing kind of worth talking about because I don't think they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
But at the time, UPN, Paramount, they wanted their own network that was going to be just as big as NBC or Fox or CBS.
It was the early version of a streaming platform.
Yeah, and this was the flagship show that was advertising and selling this new network.
There is only one television adventure that can take you from one end of the galaxy.
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
To the next.
One must allow for the unexpected discovery.
Vidians, they have this amazing technology for organ harvesting and surgeries and splitting the DNA of one person and making two people out of them, but they still need people to move rocks.
Because they have medical tech. They're dying from a plague. And all 100% of their technology focus has been on medicine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Do you know in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
They have 3D holographic rock walls. Some. But okay. So they need slaves to carry rocks.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They need. It's obvious.
Here's also an ending too. They never addressed whether or not they liberated the prison camp.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
Is it a prime directive violation?
It seems like they just got the out of there once they
I
got
wanna
the
say
that
that-
poor Talaxian. He's going to get his organs harvested the next day.
I would imagine they can rescue people that don't want to be there. It's not a violation of the prime directive.
I don't think they did though.
I want to say that Talaxian, it may have been the same actor, but I remember him coming back.
Okay.
But
okay.
I would have really liked to have a scene where he sits. We get that they liberated the prison, and he has a scene with Neelix, and Neelix goes, "Would you like to try this soup?" And he goes, lots of Talaxian flavor.
One ship. They don't have the rest of the Federation. They don't have the resources to afford storming a base to rescue people. I'm okay if they do. I'm okay if they do just get their own and get the out of there as quickly as they can. I'm okay with that.
You're a monster. You're worse than a Vidian. Those poor people, get them out of there. The Vidians have a right to exist, but they do not have a right to exploit and kill others.
I agree.
And all you got to do is say, "Do you guys want to get rescued?" And they say yes. Beam them out. I'm betting that happened.
Okay.
We're just to assume.
Okay.
3 humans and 1 Klingon to beam up.
I wanted to be sure we get enough.
Don't worry. We do this all the time.
Okay, Jetrel. This series is duet.
Okay, you say duet. I called it diet. It's
Duet light?
It's duet light.
Oh, sure.
It's nowhere near as good as duet.
No.
And I had smiley face. This one, smiley faces for my picture. This one is a question mark. I don't know how I feel about this episode.
Really?
It gets really weird at the end.
So you called it diet?
Diet.
Now, this is clearly an allegory or a metaphor.
It's Oppenheimer allegory.
If Oppenheimer were to travel to Japan 10 years after he dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and found a Japanese man and said, "Look, I know I killed your whole family, but you might have a disease
You might have cancer.
You might have cancer.
And I feel guilty. I am trying to cure cancer to all of the Nagasaki survivors."
Yes.
If I had not discovered the cascade, it would have been someone else, don't you see? It was a scientific inevitability, one discovery flowing naturally to the next.
That man's struggle but there's more layers. The Jetrel character also has his ups and downs and twists. Both characters are lying about their intentions and or cheating. And that's the soup scene of this is the pool scene, when Neelix learns about the fact that you can block your opponent's shots in pool by doing like just tapping the cue ball into a spot
behind the other balls,
where
so
it's
harder to hit. The other guy has a harder time hitting the ball he needs to hit.
Yeah. So the story that Neelix has always told is he was fighting with the Neelixian.
Talaxian.
Neelixian.
He's named after his own race?
There was a war. They were having a war with the Jetrellians. And Neelix's homeworld, there's a moon with a colony on it, and this Jetrel created some kind of like energy wave weapon. I don't remember what they called it. The
something wave.
Until Demetrion Cascade. Melodic name, isn't it? Especially for a weapon of mass destruction.
It's got a science. It's not like a bomb name. It's like a wave, a reaction, something reaction. Metatastic wave reaction. Verteron.
Some sci-fi weapon that is the equivalent of the atomic bomb, and they dropped it on this colony, and the guys.
It basically evaporates everything.
Evaporates. People got burned. Neelix is telling the story about how he went up to the moon to look for survivors, and he sees the person like burnt up. It's very reminiscent of when people
found survivors to Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
But Neelix, it turns out he had been telling the story about how he was a freedom fighter, but really he was like
he was a brave soldier in the war.
A brave soldier, yes, and but really he was like a pacifist.
He was a draft dodger.
A draft dodger.
Supposedly
a conscientious objector.
Yes.
And he was hiding, and he really wasn't the hero that he claimed to be. And then this Jetrel guy. I'm not really the monster you think I am. I'm a scientist. It was the government and the military. He's the Oppenheimer. It's the government and the military who decided to use this weapon, not me. They both feel guilty. It is a little duet-ish where they're back and forth. There's that great scene at the end where they're just talking.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think that maybe your wife was right? That you had become a monster?
Yes. The day we tested the cascade, when I saw that blinding light, brighter than 1,000 suns, I knew at that moment exactly what I had become.
And there's a lot of complex emotions going on. The Jetrel is like, he's like, he stumbles, remember, in Captain Janeway's ready room. And I'm like, oh, he's got that. He's got that virus. He's just out to cure himself. That's twist one. But his real goal is to use the transporter technology on the Voyager to
revive everybody who was vaporized. And I don't know how I feel about it, because it's kind of creepy. It's
creepy as fuck.
And I'm wondering if it's even borderline like insensitive if I were a Hiroshima survivor. I don't know how I would feel about this is weird. It's too weird for me to deal with.
It's not offensive to Hiroshima because that's not what this is. This isn't saying it's that.
Yeah.
If you made a movie where you said, I'm going to revive the Hiroshima victims with science technology, that would be offensive. This is just an allegory. But
it's a pretty blatant allegory, though.
Oh, definitely. But it's a science show.
Yeah.
It's a scientific weapon. So the idea in this cloud exists all the microbes of dead people from 15 years ago that are just floating around.
Millions of them.
And then it starts to form in the transporter, and it's like this person like in misery.
I was disturbed. I was legitimately disturbed.
But you felt something.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
And you were stunned.
I don't have a frowny face. I have a question mark.
Okay. See, I don't love that idea. It creeped me the fuck out.
Yeah.
But boy, I had forgotten all about this episode. And
I only vaguely remembered it.
And I did not remember that. And I'm like, okay, that's better than him just being selfish and trying to find the cure for his own disease.
Yeah.
And using Neelix as a ploy to do that.
Yeah.
So that was a shocking difference. And then Janeway is like, okay, if you think this will work, it's worth a shot. And Neelix even as well, you know?
Mhm.
And then Neelix at the end, I forgive you.
I want to tell you that I forgive you.
End scene. End episode. Great. Neelix as a character. Depthful and growth.
I don't hate Neelix. I know some people, like you, you're supposed to think he's obnoxious. I don't feel that way about Neelix.
No, my feelings. I will always think Jar Jar Binks is obnoxious because he is.
Yeah.
Neelix.
He's a little bit too eager to please, but I don't think he's a bad character.
No. It's certainly different. I think, once you get rid of Cass, like Neelix, and you have 7 of 9, and I think like they should have just kept continually adding bizarro people they scoop up along the way that just bring in
They need
freshness.
replacement crews from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're down 12 crew members this week. See who wants to join. Well, we got this weird guy who's like a robot or something. Oh, okay. This one guy's a big pile of sludge. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sentient sludge monster. Make him the chief of security. Last one, the season finale. Learning Curve, aka Tuvok's boot camp.
Now I have a question for you, because I remember the season finale being Seska coming back with the Kazons. Did they air like season 1? Did it just bleed right into season 2? Was there a gap?
Well, season 1 was like a half season.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was shocked when
it just ended.
When this season just ended. It was just like a fairly generic, uninteresting episode.
I don't know. They're very differentiated by the 2 season boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you just misremember.
Okay.
You understand me? What?
This episode I enjoyed.
The premise of this episode is they want to get the Maquis crew members in line with Federation ideals. So they force them against their will into Tuvok's little boot camp. And I keep watching this episode from their point of view, and it's horrible.
Yeah, well, Janeway should have known right off the bat that Tuvok was a bad choice.
He's the one that betrayed them. He was the worst choice.
There's that.
He was the worst possible choice for this assignment.
Yeah. They throw a line in there that he taught at the academy for 16 years, but that's a completely different circumstance.
Yes.
Because you have young academy kids who are eager to please, and then here are a bunch of like misfits that hate Starfleet and him. So it's like, well, have Harry Kim run through the basics. Someone a little like, more pleasing. But it was an episode about how Tuvok grows as a character.
Yeah.
Illustrated in the metaphor with Neelix bending the roses. You know, you can't be so rigid, Tuvok. You gotta bend the rules a little. And then he does at the end when he rescues the kid from the toxic gas. But this is also the episode where Neelix's nasty cheese infects the ship's bio-neural gel packs that are responsible for all the functions on the ship.
I don't think the bio-neural gel packs are worth it, Mike.
What do you mean?
I don't know that I like this technology.
They speed up operations by 15% compared to isolinear chips.
Okay.
But yeah, they do have problems where they
have
get
problems
infected.
when your computer can literally get sick. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, it's faster. The computer works faster with bio-neural circuitry.
It would have been fun if the resources aspect of the ship situation actually mattered in any way. It would have been fun.
They do list the amount of the complement of torpedoes.
We have a complement of 38 photon torpedoes at our disposal, Captain.
And no way to replace them after they're gone.
But yes, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Where they have to we've run out of photon torpedoes.
Really think before they use those photon torpedoes.
Yes. Or we had to modify the torpedo launcher to accept this new kind of torpedo that's blue or green from this alien race that we traded food replicators for to get 600 new bright green torpedoes.
Yeah.
But then you can't use those stock effects that.
I know.
I know. Rick Berman's saving that money, or Brannon Braga, or Jerry Taylor, or whoever is running this show. I don't remember. But listen, so yes, the boot camp is a terrible idea because Tuvok's a huge, rigid prick.
Yes.
And he's the worst person to teach.
And they have reason to hate him especially.
Especially. But Neelix's cheese molecules get sucked up into the vents and cause a cascade failure of the bioneural gel packs as they get an infection. The way to treat an infection is to raise the temperature, which I thought was really cool when they activated the warp drive and the nacelles came up and then they hit the gas, but they didn't go anywhere because they just wanted to flood the ship with heat and everyone's sweating. And they're trying to rid the virus from these neural gel packs, and Tuvok and the four,
four, I think?
Four. The blue guy, the
blue
lady.
guy, the girl, the young guy, and the older guy.
Yeah. They're all trapped in the cargo bay, and it's this dangerous situation. And
we're stuck in here.
Tuvok attempts a Kobayashi Maru test with them that fails, and he's like, "You did everything wrong. You're stupid."
He's like, whatever. Why should we care?
What did they do wrong?
Yeah, I know. They failed. Oh.
Yeah. Try. He was a very bad.
It's their first attempt, and it's their very first attempt, and they didn't succeed when they're completely untrained.
41 minutes. 41 minutes. 5 commercial breaks. 41 minutes.
I understand that, but to complain about it is ridiculous.
It's a micro story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generally, that would take weeks and weeks of training and blah, blah, blah. The story is Tuvok learns to be less rigid.
Yeah.
And learns something about himself and each other. He rescues the young Bajoran guy, breaks the protocol a little by not leaving him behind, earns the respect of the Maquis for bending the rules, and he ends with the line,
However, I recently realized that there are times when it is desirable to bend the rules.
"We'll follow your orders, Mr. Tuvok, if you're willing to bend the rules just a little," or something.
Yeah, yeah.
With like the more you know kind of moment at the end, or
the button on the episode.
Everyone claps. The credits roll. Fantastic.
It's fine.
Lieutenant, if you can learn to bend the rules, I guess we can learn to follow them. Let's get you to the sick bay.
I enjoyed it. It's also very similar to
I feel bad for these 4 people who are basically conscripted into service. And they don't share the Federation ideals, and the Federation ideals keep continually keeping them stranded in the Delta Quadrant.
Well, I mean, they got 2 choices.
I know. It's a horror. I sympathize with them. It's a horrible situation they're in.
You know what though? Like they're grown-ups. Just follow the rules.
One of the bioneural gel packs was malfunctioning. I had to replace it.
Did you inform Lieutenant Torres?
Not yet. I was just going to take this to engineering for analysis.
If you're going to change the neural gel pack, alert B'Elanna Torres. Just follow the rules. Read the rule book. I'm with Tuvok on this. But this episode is very similar to a later episode called Good Shepherd, The Good Shepherd with Janeway, and she picks 3, I think, crew members who have fallen through the cracks. They're not Maquis. They're just like ill-performing Starfleet crew members. One's just like really like, one has like horrible anxiety, and one girl's really shy.
Well, I'm assuming the Maquis distinction just gets completely dropped at some point.
I think it starts to fade over time. But that's a similar situation where they're just like, they have bad ratings, they're bad crew members, they're just not the recent Academy
They're
graduates.
lagging behind.
Yeah. And the one guy is like, I I think that's the episode with the smart guy.
With the smart guy in Lower the Decks, yeah.
He's just like, I went to Starfleet Academy to be like a black hole scientist or something like that.
I'm a super genius in my field.
Yes, and I had to go to the academy, and I needed 1 year on a starship in order to go to the Daystrom Institute and do math. Now I'm stuck here, so I'm sitting on the bottom of the ship just pouting. And Jane was, you've got to learn to be a team player. You got to have friends. Don't you want friends? And she's trying to help these lost sheep. Good episode, similar to this.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Anyways, that's Star Trek Voyager Season 1.
Better than I remember.
Much better than I remember. I always avoid Season 1s of these Star Trek shows because they're working the kinks out. So it was this. But then, like this series, there's 6 more seasons. Bonkers. Crazy stuff happens.
My personal unfair biases on what I think they should have done with the series in general. Whatever, good episodes. They're still good, very solid episodes. I enjoyed watching them, and I seriously do own Janeway an apology. I've been bitching about that woman for years, and I'm watching this, and these things I hated, I completely misunderstood. Completely misunderstood, and I owe her the biggest apology.
Well, that's fair. That's very, very, very noble of you, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you.
To apologize to a fictional character.
Welcome to the next emanation.
We salute not only his life, but the manner in which he has chosen to end it.
It feels like if you're going to do a show about a younger generation, to exclude the idea that they're, having sex is insanity to me. Exactly. So I think we just went for